Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the BFNL Netball Show, episode number 2. We obviously did a good job in episode number 1 because you've said let's get another episode in the pipeline, and while you're at it, stay around for the rest of the year. So, Sean Kelly's my name. Great to be back in the host's chair. Joining me is my co-host for the season, BFL Netball Operations Coordinator Matthew Wiltshire. Matty, welcome, mate.
Thanks for having me, mate. It's fantastic to be back, and it wasn't it good to see the netball finally get underway in round 1.
Certainly was some great games of netball going around throughout the start, and we'll start it off with the team that didn't get a victory next to their name in 2013, and come 2014 round 1, they've got one already. The Melton South Panthers, big winners in round 1, defeating Ballarat 41-26. Wright, Carter Coleman, 19 goals leading the way. Best players, Jill Vander Ross and Taryn Healy, once again great for Melton South. And Abby Wiltshire, sister of, best on court for Ballarat, along with Bowman and Henderson. Good to see the young Ballarat side get up and about in A grade. Obviously, Abby played in the under-18 premiership last year, as did their goal scorers, Bethany Van Rossum and Ellen Wirtz. So, very young team that Ballarat will field this season. And I suppose the more experience for Melton South got them over the line on the weekend, but I reckon Ballarat will probably be okay.
Yeah, exactly. Ballarat had, I saw 4 19 under players play again in the A grade side. So obviously a very young side, but also some experience in there as well with some older players. But yeah, I was actually at the game in Melton South. Yeah, just had the better of the day with, especially the defence was really holding up quite well. So they got some really handy players and looked like a lot promising. Lot more promising this year than what they were last year. Yeah,
we know that Melton South had a really kind of extraordinary run in the first couple of rounds last year where they drew 3 of their first 4 games, but unfortunately couldn't get the win. So for Bon Tai and for all the people up at Melton South, it must have been a really good feeling to get that win on the board straight away.
Yeah,
2014.
First round, get a win on the board is always fantastic. So well done to Melton South.
At least they know they've already improved on 2013. Yeah, exactly. They've ticked off one of their pre-season goals. Lake Wendouree taking on East Point, and up till half-time, this game was a ripper. It was close, it was fantastic, it was everything that we thought it would be. In the end, though, East Point put the foot on the accelerator and motored away to win 51-32. Emma Ryan, 38 goals. She's made a name as a defender, but she was swung into the goalers' arc on the weekend. She didn't miss a shot in the first quarter. She didn't miss a shot in the last quarter. She was absolutely phenomenal for East Point. Cindy Daniel also with 13 goals. The new faces in goals for Lake Wendouree, Kat Biscan, 23 goals, as well as Page with 8 and James with 1. Candice Page, and Chrissy James with 1 goal. Different look Lake Wendouree side this year. They were missing a few. Molly Boyle didn't play, Katie Williams didn't play, which really strengthens them up. But having said that, East Point looked really good and were missing a couple themselves.
Yeah, well, especially coming in for East Point at this game with Lake Wendouree, going into the unknown really with Lake Wendouree and all the unknown players. You can see Biskin's obviously had a good start there with 23 goals, so she's going to be one to watch for the season with Lake Wendouree. But East Point with Emma Ryan in goals, 38 goals to her name. It's just fantastic to see her up there scoring some goals up in the attack instead of the defence. But East Point, looks very strong, and they'll definitely up there this year, I think. So
and they will indeed. They want to go that one step further than what they did last year. And we actually caught up with their coach, Emma Farrell, after the game to have a bit of a chat about where East Point are at, what's been fueling them over the off-season, and what they're looking at doing in 2014. So let's have a chat with East Point netball coach, Emma Farrell.
Emma, congratulations on a great win today. Great way to start this 2014 season.
Yeah, it is. Look, that's what we aim to do, get out and just go strong for the first game and see what happens. And look, it's really hard going into the first few games not knowing what everyone else has got. So coming away with a strong win like that is more than we expected.
Bit of a change in the game after half-time. Obviously a very close game up till half-time, but that third quarter you really broke the game open today.
Yeah, look, they did. It took them a little while, I think, just to start to find their rhythm and find how far they can push each other. They're relatively new in the attack line. They were completely new in the attack line today with us having to swing Emma Ryan into goals. But it worked, and it took them that first half, I think, to work things out, and it worked in the end.
Emma Ryan, obviously a fantastic defender, as we all know. You just mentioned you swung her into goals today, and it really worked well because she was able to kind of one-on-one against her opponent win most times, and her shooting accuracy was phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. Look, and we have every confidence in Emma going into goals. She's definitely our third shooter now, so we've swung her into goals a few times last year, but of course it's always hard swinging, taking her out of defence, knowing how much she gives us in defence as well. So, but having Eleanor back this year with Marsh, and then we promoted a player from B grade for this week. So It all worked out well, which is good. But look, it'll be good to have Loz due back next week and then give us a few more options again.
Obviously, we turn the page. It's a new season now, but how much did that end of last season? How much did that really spur you through the pre-season?
Yeah, look, it does. It's a tough pre-season trying to just get everything worked out, and I guess with the extra team this year that we've had to work out, it hasn't given us all that much time on just working with the A grade team. So from now on, it'll be just us, and we'll be definitely focusing on what could have been last year by 1 goal. So look, we all hurt a lot last year, so we're very determined to get there again and go that extra step.
And how hard is it just standing on the sidelines watching and not actually being out there?
Yes, very hard. I hate it. And I had to coach the A reserve team today as well, so it's not fun at all. But look, I'm so lucky that I've been able to recruit Cindy into my position, which is a bit scary if she hangs around for next year. if I'll get it back. So look, she stepped up, especially in that second half today, and I couldn't have asked for more. So I think once this team starts settling down, we'll be on top of it.
Well, congratulations on the win today, and good luck on Anzac Day against the Swans.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sean.
Thanks, Emma.
Okay.
East Point coach Emma Farrell joining us on the BFNL Netball Show. Let's talk Melton versus Sebastopol, another game that we thought would be a pretty close game. And look, in some ways it was. Melton got the jump on Sebastopol early, 19 goals to 6 in the first quarter, and the Boroughs never recovered. In the end, going down 61-42. Mel McCauley was in great touch for Melton, shooting 59 goals of Melton 61 on the weekend, and Sebastopol Georgia Can 26 goals, and Erin Atherton back into the Sebastopol side, 16 goals on the weekend. Better players for Melton, O'Brien and Jacqueline Fogarty, and for Sebastopol, Atherton, Georgia Can and Rhiannon Banner in defence, their best players in the first game. I wouldn't worry too much if I was Sebastopol. Melton are going to be a really good side again this year. Obviously, Mel McCauley started the season in ripping form, and they're going to be right up there. And look, Georgia came on last week and said they wanted to surprise Melton last week. Look, they're probably at about the same point they were against Melton last year. So whether they've surprised them or not, I'm not sure. The improvement's probably definitely there for Sebastopol, but a tough measuring stick first round.
Yeah, obviously coming up against Melton first round is always tough. Like Mel McCauley in goals, her 59 come from 70 shots, so she's started the year very accurate, and I'm pretty sure she's going to continue that for the rest of the season. It's good to see Banner in the best for Sebastopol with her first game, so well done to Banner. But also an interesting one here is Livy Denuden, who got the actual 3 votes from the umpires in the game, so she obviously must have played very well in the centre there with a 61-42 loss to get the 3 votes. That's an outstanding job. Yeah,
you'd think so, and it's awesome that we're giving away the umpires' votes as well. No need to come to Henderson Medal this year. Maddie's just going to give them all on the show as we go throughout the year. Now, look, obviously, we do put them in the record every week, so it's no secret up until the end of the year what's happening with the vote count. Redan taking on North Ballarat City, and this was probably the upset of the weekend, one would say. Obviously, North Ballarat City very, very strong last year, playing in the grand final, but Redan got them. They beat them in the first round, 30-28. They were headed in the last quarter. They were able to come back and go past North City again and record a victory that Coach Kate McMahon said felt like a grand final in the end. She said the players were shocked, they were in disbelief, but they really, really enjoyed it. Emma Henry, 16 goals for Redan. She started the game in defence. She was swung into the goals late in the game. She shot 8 from 8 in the last quarter, which really made a difference. Gina McCartan, 19 goals as well for North Ballarat City with their new look shooting lineup this year. Tony Nestor also shooting 6 goals. Emma Henry, Erin Riley and Cass Peace, fantastic players for Redan. I nearly said Cass Hobbs there. This whole wedding thing throws me out a little bit when girls change names, obviously. And then the McCartan sisters and Sarah Milton amongst the best players for North City. Great win by Redan, Matty.
Yeah, obviously it's a credit to Redan, especially being locked up with North City at 3/4 time. It's come down to the last quarter. You sort of think the experience of Redan coming from a grand final last year to be able to get over the line, but it's good to see Redan really stuck in there. And obviously Emma Henry, 8 from 8 in that last quarter, really helped them lift over the line. So,
especially for someone who's primarily made her name as a defender.
Exactly. So she's done well up in the goals, and very accurate. So she'll be want to, I think, stick up in the goals first of the games.
Yeah, knowing Kate, she'll throw things around left, right and centre until she finds something that sticks, and when it does stick, they'll make it work. Sunbury on the weekend unfurled their 2013 premiership flag, then turned the page to try and do the same thing again in 2014. got the job done very nicely in round one. 53-24 win over Darley. Sophie Gunn, 47 goals out of Sunbury's 53 on the weekend. So it'll be a really interesting duel between her and Mel McCauley for the goal shooting title this year. Good work by Darley. Demi Geary was good. Tale Bari as well was fantastic on the weekend. But Beck Moffat for Sunbury in defence. And Emily has a party in her first game for the club as well for Sunbury really stood out. So good work by Sunbury. Darley, probably about where they would have expected to be. As we heard from them, it's going to be a bit of a development year for the Devils this year. So they'll probably be pleased to be where they were against almost a full-strength Sunbury side.
Yeah, I think most people would have expected this result, like Sunbury coming from last year and then the off-season recruiting they've had as well. Like they're just going to get better from last year. So they're looking to have another strong year and to be favourites again for the flag, so they'll definitely be ones to beat. But yeah, well done to Darley. Obviously, still put them up to them 24-53. So yeah, it's for the young development side. It's fantastic to get a game up against Sunbury, the reigning premiers first up. It's good for their experience and hopefully give them a bit of confidence going forward.
Certainly is. This is the spot where we normally put ladders up every week, but we're not going to do so this week because it's one round in. We know the teams that won are on top, the teams that lost are on bottom, and Bacchus Marsh is sitting in 6th because they had the bye last week, so they get 4 points. Without any effort, they went and sung the club song at about 3:30 on last Saturday afternoon, I believe. Frankie got them in the huddle, sung the club song, and said, "Good 4 points, girls." Let's have a look now at our Stockland Wendouree Player of the Week. As we mentioned last week, we've introduced a Player of the Week award for the A-grade netball competition this year. The first winner of the award from the Redan Football Netball Club, Erin Riley, played a fantastic game in defence on the weekend. Her coach, Kate McMahon, said it's probably the best game she's played in some time for Erin, so leading her team over the line, and quite rightfully, the Stockland Wendouree Player of the Week. $25 Stockland Wendouree voucher coming to you, as knowing you'll have that spent in about 3 seconds flat. So enjoy that, and we'll enjoy every week our Stockland Wendouree Player of the Week award, Matty.
Yeah, well, it's probably the RSL competition, I think, has helped Erin get her just some good game experience up before the season started. So obviously all of the RSL girls are going to come in having already had that experience out on the court, so they're going to play very well. And Erin definitely played very well during the RSL team games, and obviously brought that to the court for a Dan, which is going to be a great asset for the year. Yeah,
she did indeed. Well done to Ez, and thank you, of course, to Stockland Wendouree for their fantastic support of the Ballarat Football Netball League and our netball competition this year. Time to look at this week's games, Matty, or as it is this week's game. There's only one. There's a standalone game. It's on Good Friday. It's North Ballarat City taking on Bacchus Marsh. It's at normal time, so the A-grade game will start at 2:30. Every other game will follow as it would during the season. So I reckon it's a great initiative. Get out there on Good Friday. And look, no offence to those that are a bit religious. I'm a religious person myself, but Good Friday can be a boring day sometimes. There's no shops open. You've got to eat fish. You've got to see relatives that you don't like. You've got to eat fish that you don't necessarily like. You've got to watch the telethon all day. Now we've got an option for you. You can go down to Eureka Stadium. You can watch a great game of netball between two teams that are going to show a bit this season. Obviously, North City are going to be ready for this one. They'll be ropeable. They lost last week. Annie McCartan would have put them through their paces like you wouldn't believe. And Bacchus Marsh, a bit of the unknown. We don't know what to expect from Bacchus Marsh this year. Obviously, their coach, Frank Pavlovich, is a great operator. We saw him with the Regional State League 17 and underside lead them to success. He's had some good experience with the Bacchus Marsh Football Netball Club in recent history. They've lost Katie Williams this year, which is a huge loss for any side, obviously going over to Lake Wendouree. But they've recruited, and it'll be very interesting to see Bacchus Marsh take to the court this weekend.
Yeah, as you said, I think North Ballarat come out firing, just having a loss last week to Redan, especially in a close one. They're going to really want to get that first win on the board. But yeah, with Bacchus Marsh, definitely is the unknown. You're not too sure what's going to happen. So it's definitely going to be an interesting game. And as Shawnee said, if you've got nothing to do on Good Friday, which I'm sure means most
I'm sure you won't.
So you may as well go down and have a look, and you'll be able to have a good study of both teams as well, as there's no other games on for the day. So definitely recommend going down there and having a watch. It should be a fantastic day.
You've hit the nail on the head there. A good study of both teams. And one of the things I'm really going to watch for is the way that North City's goalers work. Not having Jordan Bibby down there this year. Annie McCartan's gone with a shorter goal pairing, if you will. Obviously, we know how good Gina McCartan is, the pocket rocket as goal attack. But having Tani Nestor down there, who's primarily been a defender before this, she's got some good reports in goals, but a little bit unknown. She hasn't really worked too much with Gina in goals before, so it'll take her a couple of weeks to get used to it. So I suppose that's my main focus going into this game, just seeing how those North City goalers work and how Stacey McCartan, who we know how well she feeds Gina, whether she's got that same rapport with Tani as well.
Yeah, I also noticed that there was a bit of a rotation as well with Gina
Pellegrino
obviously
came
stayed
in
there,
too.
so it's good to see it given a bit of an option, so it's not just chucking the one person starting to fill the role of Bibby, who was obviously a big shoes to fill. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works, as you said, but I'm sure they'll figure it out as they are a very strong side and get back up to one of the strongest shooting sides in the competition again.
You're tipping?
I'll go North.
Yeah, I'm going North City. Just we know what North City can do. Bacchus Marsh that little bit unexpected. Happy to be proven wrong, Frank. I know that you're sitting there saying, "Why don't you tip us for a change?" And more than happy for you to prove me wrong. But at this stage, going with North City. Matty, that's our show for this week. We'll be back again next week with the BFNL Netball Show. We'll have some footage from the North City Ballarat game. North City Bacchus Marsh. Swans fans just absolutely said, what's going on here? All of a sudden we're playing this week. I didn't know about that. Footage from the North City Bacchus Marsh game on the show next week. We'll also try and catch up with somebody from that game as well and bring that to you. Matty, happy Easter. Hope the Easter Bunny comes to you, mate.
Yeah, hopefully. Wouldn't mind some chocolates.
Yeah, it'd be very, very good. And anybody who wants to send some my way as well, feel free to do so. It's the BFNL Netball Show for another week. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.